Hey, it's Bree Love here. I'm going to be coming with you guys with the video. It's actually going to be two parts to this video because I feel like when you have two people that can explain something, Lee's going to be doing the second part video with me. Of course, he's not in my body, so he doesn't know, but he was there. So he was witnessing all the things that was going on. I currently have not been doing videos because it's been really hard for me because of my health issue. We've been going through this situation. First, I want to talk about doctors. In Illinois, where I'm from, the doctors there, I was able to get results right away and I can move forward. Where I currently live, I feel like the doctors are overbooked, or should I say, the doctors are overworked. So it's hard for them to take care of each patient and give them enough time to be able to find solutions. So first, I want to talk about the beginning process of what happened to me. At the beginning, I'll give you my history because I don't know. I just feel like I should tell everyone what's going on with me, why I've been absent. And also this might help someone else that's going through the same thing that doesn't understand what's going on with their body, and they're having these symptoms and they don't know why these things are happening to them. So I want to help another person out. That being said, I want to go to the beginning process. So when I was, gosh, I forgot how old I was. I want to say I was 16. When I was 16, I had a benign tumor on my left ovary, which was small enough for them to get out through a scope, which they did 3 incisions, like one in my belly button, one where my uterus is, and then also on the above where my ovaries are. It was attached to my ovary, and they found it and they got to the bottom of it. The same symptoms that I'm having now is what I had before. So that's why I'm telling you the history about what happened to me. So at a young age, I noticed that when I took birth control, which helps the cyst from happening, the birth control can stop it. And I don't know, it's something like that. It can stop it. I was also told that I couldn't have children. So I was thinking to myself, why am I taking birth control, which is giving me pain, which is toxic to my body and showing me that it's toxic to my body? Why am I taking those things when I can't get pregnant anyways? So I went to another doctor and he told me that I am able to have children. And I was like, what? So I didn't know that I could have children, and when he was telling me I was able to have children at that time, I didn't know that I was pregnant. So I'll tell you, if you guys want to know more about that story, I'm talking about current, not with that story. So if you want to know about the story of my child and how I found out I was pregnant with her, I can talk about that. But right now I want to stay on schedule of what's going on. So basically in the past, I had the same symptoms that I have now. So right now I'll tell you the symptoms that I was having. I've been going through this for a year now, and we're still trying to figure out what the heck is going on with me. So I had abdominal pain, bloating to the point where I looked pregnant, nausea, vomiting, weight gain, hard to use the bathroom. So like I was very constipated. I couldn't poop. I couldn't use the bathroom. So I had to take teas just to use the restroom. And then also I was very tired and drowsy. So I'll tell you what basically happened. I'll tell you with each symptom what I noticed first. First, what I noticed was I was gaining weight rapidly. Like it was like I was gaining it so much and I don't understand how. And I was like 165. 165, and I gained like, I don't know, it was crazy. I gained so much weight. I was like 188. which I am now. I gained that much weight in just short little time, and my weight has stayed at 180 to 188. It drops a little, goes back, and it doesn't matter what I did. And I was working out. All it was doing was making me more exhausted, more in pain. So I actually stopped doing it because I was just getting in so much pain, I couldn't tolerate it anymore. So after I was getting the weight gain, I noticed I was getting a lot of bloating and a lot of abdominal pain. When I ate certain things, my stomach was hurting. It felt like it was twisting knots, which was really hard for me. And then also the nausea, I was like super nauseous in the morning and throwing up. And I was like, what the heck? And then there was another symptom, which was I didn't have my period for 3 months long. It doesn't make sense. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? I haven't had my period. I feel pregnant, but I don't know if I am. So, long story short, we went to the ER and they ran all these tests on me. They said I wasn't pregnant. They ran my blood and everything. They said I wasn't pregnant. There was nothing to be found except for a kidney stone that was stuck on my right side. It was stuck inside of the kidney. And they were like, well, usually you don't get any symptoms from that if it's stuck in there. Sometimes it dissolves and you just pee it out. And I was like, okay, whatever. Which I did have minor back pain, but it wasn't like serious. It was all these other things were bothering me. So after that happened, I kept having ER visits constantly because I was getting to the point where I was so uncomfortable that it was just unbearable. Like I couldn't eat certain stuff. It was making me where I wasn't hungry, or I would get in pain and I would just cry myself to sleep because it was just so much pain. No pain pills helped, like none. And finally, after that happened, the doctor at the ER was like, you know what? I need you to do a follow-up appointment with a primary care doctor and an OB. And I was like, okay. So I went to a primary care doctor. I honestly did not like him. He was so rude. He was just like, there's nothing wrong with you. You might be having these symptoms, but it could be nothing. And I was like, okay, well, that's dumb for a person to have all these symptoms and pain and all this stuff and it be nothing. So we didn't go back to him. We went to the ER again because I was in pain again. They prescribed me finally a stronger medication for pain and then also medication for nausea so that I can actually eat. So I would take a nausea pill and then eat right after and I will feel fine. Which sucked because I was just living my life on medication. So let's speed up to current situation. After that ER visit, they did a CAT scan, they did everything. They ran so many tests and couldn't find anything. They told me to go to an OBGYN. So I went to an OBGYN. She tested my blood. She also she tested my blood and she also tested my blood for my thyroid to see if there was anything wrong with my thyroid and the reason why my hormones are all imbalanced or my weight gain, which we couldn't explain. So she checked everything. She checked if I was pregnant, my urine, everything came back negative. So I was like, okay, we can't get to the bottom of this. I'm just gonna be in pain. I almost gave up. I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I know something's wrong with me, but there's nothing we could do. I just have to deal with it. Lee was not going for that answer at all. He's a very supportive person. He was just like, that's not an answer. Like, we can't give up. Sorry if I'm looking down. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to stay focused. But he was like, yeah, that's not an option. We need to figure out what's wrong with you. I don't care how many doctor visits we take, we're going to figure out what's wrong. So finally we go to a different OB because that first OB was not the nicest OB. And I understand she was overworked. I mean, she had like only 20 seconds to do in each client. And I mean, I understand that. So after that OB, I went to a different OB. And she was like, we're going to check your pee, we're going to check your thyroid, we're going to check all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I went through this already. I need to get to the bottom of what's wrong with me. I haven't had my period. It's been 3 months. She's like, wait, what? It's been 3 months? And I'm like, yeah, 3 months. I have not had my period. And I'm going through all these symptoms. I don't understand what's going on. So she saw that in my last ER visit that I had a cyst on my left ovary. She said she doesn't know if it is bigger now, what kind of cyst it is. So they wanted me to do an appointment for them to do an ultrasound on the cyst. So she still checked my thyroid, and she also checked my urine to make sure I wasn't pregnant again, because of course this is a new OB and she needs to make sure she follows the right procedures. So I understand that. So she checked all of that, and it came back negative, which I already knew that. And then she was like, I'm gonna give you a hormone pill that should help you get your periods regulated. And then she asked me about birth control. And I told her I don't want to do birth control because I feel like for me, I'm very sensitive with birth control and it's very toxic to my body. So let's go backwards from the beginning when I told you guys that it was really toxic to my body and I was having these weird symptoms. Like, it doesn't matter what birth control I was on when I was younger, it was just not good for me. And my mom was like, no, you're not taking any more birth control. What's the point? You know, they said you can't have kids. So I just didn't take birth control for a certain period of time. But after I had my daughter, I got on the Mirena, which was miserable because I actually forgot that my body is allergic to whatever is in the birth control. I don't know what it is, but I just didn't feel good. It's really toxic. And I was on the Mirena, and I had the same symptoms before where I was just in so much pain and all this other stuff. So then I got off the Mirena and they put me on the patch, which is a no-go. I feel like you should never get off of one birth control and go right after on another, which that's what they did to me, which my body was just like all over the place. Like, it was just a mess. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take the patch anymore. I don't want a birth control. So that's what I told the doctor. I told the OBGYN that I don't want to take birth control. I feel like it's toxic to my body. I don't like the way it makes me feel. It's not for me. Some people it is for, but it's not for me. She was like, okay, I understand that. I'm currently on the hormone pill. And it's only been 4 days. I have to take it for 10 days just so that my period can start coming. It's gonna force my period to come, and hopefully the cyst will rupture on its own, and then we'll figure out what's wrong with me. She also referred me to a doctor for my intestines so that they can check out my intestines to make sure there's nothing wrong with my intestines that can also be causing me pain and going through right now. So currently, this is the whole mess that I'm going through. I'm trying to keep my professional life with hair, makeup, and everything else, and also dealing with my health. Which before the hormone pills that she gave to me, I was in so much pain. Like, it was hard for me to get out of the bed. I couldn't get out the bed. It was just too painful. And then some days I was just so exhausted. Like, something so simple like us going grocery shopping, coming home, putting everything away, me cleaning the kitchen made me so exhausted, which is not me. And Leon's like, no, this is not you. You're usually jolly. He'll explain to you guys like how I really am. And when he noticed this stuff, he was like, no, something is wrong, you know? But since I've been taking the hormone pills, I've had more energy. And I'm not having as much pain as I had before. So I don't know what the hormone pills could be doing for me. But hopefully this information will help someone else out there. The best advice I can give anyone is, if you feel like something is wrong and people are telling you, or doctors are telling you, oh, there's nothing, there's nothing, there's nothing, don't let that answer go. You should always fight to get to the bottom solution of what's going on with your health. You're not crazy. You're having these symptoms. You're going through these things. And you just need the right doctor to find the information, who will be patient and actually find out what's wrong with you. So currently, that's what I'm going through. I'm going to go, I think it's next month. And that's the thing, like, these doctors are overworked, so it's hard to get an appointment, and you don't get an appointment until months later. So right now we're waiting on my appointment, a second appointment to the OB next month, for her to do an ultrasound to check my cysts. And then also I have to follow up with a doctor that helps with a test to find out what's wrong with my intestines, to make sure there's nothing going on. There will be a part 2 to this video. Lee is going to tell his side and what he noticed, what was going on with me, and what he did to help me feel more comfortable and work through this situation. That's all I have for this video. We will be recording more videos, but thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.